That's awesome.
Love that.
I mean, I know we were talking about a lot of positive stuff, but I have something negative. I mean,
What?
kind of scary, actually.
You
guys
would.
Uh,
You would.
okay,
It would
see,
be
That's
you
all
who would
right.
do
again,
it.
like I feel like I was set up for this. I feel like this was all set up. Like I'm not trying to be negative here, but again, did you guys hear about the ransomware thing with the Starbucks?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
hear about that?
Yeah. Under.
That is some scary,
Blue Yonder,
scary
yeah.
shit. Again, I don't know if you guys remember. Well, let me just talk about what happened, right? So there's a product called Blue Yonder that is again, it's a POS system where they use to enter time, and they do different things for Starbucks, for many other bigger companies. And it got hacked. And because it got hacked, it was all down. And basically all these companies, and again, a big reminder how time is as important as payroll. It really is. Like time feeds payroll, right? So I think Todd is giving me the thumbs up. He loves when I say things like that. So, again, the Starbucks and all these companies were kind of at a standstill in the sense of they had to go to backup plans of like, what do? I don't have time data. How do I get people paid? Do I use, last payroll periods number? What do I do? Right. So, and it kind of reminded me, which a couple of years ago, it happened to UKG. And honestly, it's like, I can't help just feeling just scared, but I also feel, again, knock on wood, grateful for a company, like our SAP, all of our SAP, security people who are helping ensure that, everything that's happening on the SAP data centers and all the apps are, well taken care of. And I would really recommend for you guys, for all our listeners, to go to, and again, we'll drop the link in our description, but the SAP Trust Center, they have really good documentation on everything they're doing to ensure, all the work that goes into making sure we keep, they keep the software safe. But again, knock on wood, right? Because it can happen to anybody. It really can.
Nobody's safe from these scumbags, right? And our customers that have been impacted by these other vendors, they've risen to the occasion. I know it happened to, in the UKG one, to a couple of our customers from the time side. And like what they've done over and above to take care of their employees has been amazing. It's not their fault. It's, they're a victim. So we're not throwing shade here at all, but this is just these scumbags that are out there. I wish I could get my hands on one.
And that, like, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But no, if you think about that one, that was like worst case situation. I know payroll year end, right? So that UKG one, I think, happened right in like December. So my heart goes out to all those payroll people that had to do it, and coming up with a plan. Like when that happens, you never expect it, and now you're talking about, okay, let me take this, and what do you do? What do you do when you have not just like a couple hundred people, but what about thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people? Because I heard a couple secondhand stories from that, and it's like, okay, well, we're right at the end of the year, and do we just copy the last payroll, like you said, Raj, right? And I know some people actually just kind of did that, but even that gets really messy and reconciling it. So a lot of payroll heroes from these really challenging times.
Isn't that the truth? And going back to even Todd's story from the beginning, and this is why we did this, right, guys? Is like we want to really shine the light on these payroll baddies out there who are like literally, like, think of this, like, they're again, I don't want to, they're superheroes. Let's just I'm going to say it. They're superheroes.
No excuses.
Like no excuse, right? They got to get it done. They somehow figure it out, right? And they get people paid because, that's somebody's paycheck. That's somebody who,
someone's
needs
livelihood.
that, from day to day.
That's their rent. That's their mortage. That's their food on their
kids.
table.
That's the one thing that will
get
the company in the news if they mess up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As we see. Yep.
And like, it gives me chill. Like, I know Todd was getting pumped up, but it gives me chills just to think about what people do out there. And it is about time that they got their dues, right? The people out there got their dues. But again, back to this ransomware thing. Again, I just wanted to bring it up because I think it's important for us to shine a light on, there's scary shit happening out there.
Yep.
And we can all learn that, look, it can happen to anybody. So don't think for a minute you're safe. And then if it happens to somebody, you're like, oh, it can never happen to me. No, it can, right? Obviously, again, we're in good hands with a company like SAP, who spends, has hundreds of people, thousands of people, and lots of money spending on just that. But, again, if for my side, I would really recommend all of our listeners, if you are in the payroll or time space, like have a backup plan, right? Think through that. Think what would happen, right? If things like that,
Yeah,
if
maybe
this
in the
would happen
future
to you.
have somebody that was impacted come on and talk about what they did, because we
You
know
know,
Yeah.
we know baddies that have went through it, right?